That's it. Now we are. We were talking about Biebers.
We were talking about Biebers.
We were talking about fashion.
The wonderful.
I had some wonderful clothes. I did. I had a lot of pairs of those white boots.
Yes.
I had a pair made for me in just in a little bootmaker's off Oxford Street, and I remember them costing £10.
Which is expensive in those days.
That was incredibly expensive.
It's a lot of money in those days.
Practically wages.
Wow.
And they were
What colour?
White.
Oh, God.
Right up to the knee.
Yeah, right over the knee. Mine was pink.
Pink.
In a sort of, what was it, suede, brushed suede. Fabulous. But they were Biebers. Biebers, great fan of Biebers.
I did like some, I mean, of course, those days we could wear those things. We were so lovely and skinny and beautiful.
Yeah, so slim.
And if only we'd have remembered how lovely we were. I had...
we have photos, I suppose.
Well, not as many as they do now. You see, I don't have so many photos, to be honest, of us.
Well, no, because I don't remember ever having a camera.
People didn't go around taking
photographs. We went into booths. We went into little photo booths. I remember going in there with my friend Lynn and Sarah, and we went in and we had photos taken in the photo booth.
And didn't it, if you had a camera, you had to have this 14 pictures.
Yeah. No,
and so they were all sort of different special pictures. You didn't sort of take them casually.
No, well, not like today. We had nothing. Well, we went to a phone box to make phone calls. Can you imagine explaining that to someone today with great big thick directories? I
did have in America. I had a pair of purple velvet hot pants.
Fabulous.
And a beautiful velvet top, which I'd brought with me from the King's Road, which was sort of like a pinky velvet with every button was a different colour. Smarties.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Now, on the King's Road, if I remember rightly in those days, there was a shop called Stop the Shop.
Yes.
And you walked in and there was like a sort of roundabout type thing you stood on. And there was the Chelsea Drugstore.
Chelsea Drugstore.
Which is now McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, that's Chelsea Drugstore.
Oh, fabulous shops on the King's Road.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Wonderful. Well, you went to the King's Road to walk up and down.
Up and down and pose.
And be in your velvet jeans.
And be seen.
Yes,
be seen. Right. I had a pair of crushed velvet purple trousers that I wore when I saw Hair when it first came out.
Yes.
And I can remember wearing those to see Hair, the musical, which is now back on.
I know. I mean, the trouble is, I thought we went to see Hair when it first came up. We went with another couple. I think I was just married then, and I had a Mary Quant dress, which was black, all see-through at the top. And I remember my dad thinking, because I think he said it was a disgraceful thing to wear. How disgusting it was.
His father would have disapproved.
Yes, he did approve of that. But I mean, the thing is that I don't know. We were lucky because we were at the forefront of things changing.
Yes,
weren't we?
We saw it all. We saw it right from the 50s, which were quite sort of dull. And then suddenly this explosion. It was a mad explosion.
And we were all...
Yeah, yes.
The only thing I think, though, that there was a downside, because I think that it wasn't as liberating for women, really, because I think men did just think that we would all have sex with them all the time.
Pop a pill. The pill came in, I suppose. They thought, well, every woman's on the pill.
And it wasn't always...
maybe.
It wasn't always wonderful. You felt almost obliged, didn't you?
No.
I think I had a lot of sex I didn't really enjoy.
Maybe. Talk for yourself, dear. I don't know. I can't, being a bit younger than you. But, yes, well, of course, I left school sort of probably around about the summer of love, 67, 68. So I came straight into the 60s with a bang, so to speak. But,
well, it's the film with David Hemming's Blow Up.
Yes.
I think it shows how it wasn't all hunky-dory for women.
You're right. I hadn't seen that. I haven't sort of looked at that aspect of things in the 60s because I'm slightly sort of, I suppose I look back with such nostalgia.
Yeah.
In fact, I was saying not so long ago about some pieces of music that actually make you feel, gosh, you're there. I hear the first sort of strands of Whiter Shade of Pale, and I know exactly where I was when I first heard that. And San Francisco, when of course you were in the States.
Well, that was the 70s, the end of the 60s, the beginning of the 70s, But in the actual 60s, when I worked in London, I worked for a theatrical agent, Roy Mosley, long gone now, and we worked in a flat that he lived in, and the flat underneath was owned by Andrew Oldham, who was the manager at that time of the Rolling Stones. And I used to meet the Rolling Stones on a regular basis in the lift. Honestly, they used to speak to me every day. And Mick Jagger was also quite friendly with Roy, so sometimes he would come up and see him. But I was like a little girl from the country, and he used to call me Jennifer. He used to say, hello, Jennifer. Wow. And he was very, very nice to me. And I don't remember the others being very nice to me, but I do remember him.
You remembered Mick? You remember Mick Jagger?
I remember, because it was an old cage lift.
It's extraordinary.
It was a cage lift, and as they got out on the floor below, he would pretend to do monkey faces for me as the lift went up. She was very sweet, very sweet. It's a lovely memory.
Amazing memory. That's an amazing memory of that time. And then
I never told anybody. I suppose I didn't think anyone would believe me.
And how long did you work with Roy?
On and off, but of course I knew him for many, many years, and he's only died a couple of years ago in Los Angeles, but he was a character. A lot of people knew him. He was a character.
I remember you telling me, because you introduced me to Joe Allen.
Oh yes, of course, and when that was the place.
That was the place. And it wasn't even advertised, was it? You just knew, because people said you just go down the street.
That was
just a door.
There was a door. No, I know, and it's not the same.
I moved to Burley Street now. It's not the same. But we saw the good years there. And I remember you saying you went there with Roy. Wonderful.
But you had some amazing. I mean, I would like to think. I can't believe that you went to Liverpool and got on a boat and went all the way across to Spain to be an au pair.
Canary Islands.
An au pair. Canary Islands.
Looking after 5 children.
That you've never met.
Never met. I saw the advert in The Lady. And phoned, and no interview, of course, because they were over in Las Palmas, and got the job, and I sailed on a boat called the Montiulia, which was a banana boat. It was a cargo boat, stopping at Vigo in Spain, and then Tenerife and Las Palmas.
How long did that take?
7 days.
7 days?
7 days.
Gosh,
because it was all to do with the cargo. So if the cargo bananas was held up in Spain, the boat was held up. There was only a few passengers on there. It was just very few passengers. It was a cargo boat.
So when you hadn't met the children?
Hadn't met the children. They were all under. I think the oldest was 10, going down from 10.
And they left you immediately with them?
I arrived there. Didn't know any Spanish.
No,
of course.
So how had they found you through the advert
Through the advert, yes. They put the advert in through an agency.
You wrote.
And yes, I phoned the woman who was the agent in the UK, and she gave my details to the lady in the Canary Islands, and she said, "Okay, fine," and off I went.
My goodness.
I look back at it now, and of course you think, when you look back at these things, you can't quite believe you did it, but
that was very brave, very brave indeed.
It was
wonderful. Yeah, well, they did that.
And you with your with the States and your wonderful trip.
Yes, I had a wonderful trip across the States, but we'll continue that, shall we?
Next
time.
Fabulous.